Welcome back, Panther fans. I am David Brown, and that is Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
And this is Tim Thurber. And we are State of Atlanta.
Oh, we're supposed to do that? Oh, my bad. Cheers. Wait, wrong way.
Did you not do the intro? Are you gonna put it on at the You gonna do
It did the intro.
It did the intro.
It played it. It played the music and everything. Your favorite song?
Ryan, did you black out for 30 seconds again?
I did not. It did not.
You did. Okay.
You guys are
Not
messing with me.
again. All right. So basketball's over,
Yay.
right?
I mean, did basketball ever begin?
It did. We got better towards the very, very end and then got worse and then made our way into the tournament and took out the trash, as I like to call it, as we should.
I did not like getting Trash Down South as our first game in the tournament, but we took care of business. The collective we took care of it. And not only we, but also the lady we. The laid we. I don't know how that works.
The ladies took care of business.
They also took care of we both got Trash Down South in the first round of the tournament and both won. Both Panthers won all the way around. Anyhow.
It's nice to kick him out of the tournament. Like if there was anything that we wanted, I mean, we said this last week going into the tournament, the expectation was stop them from going any further. We did it.
We did. Yeah.
Nice.
Stop them from advancing. Yep. That's a win right there. And it was Coach Hayes' first win ever in the tournament. And I guess actually technically Coach Gene Hill, his first win in the tournament as well.
Win? Oh, is that true?
That's nice. I like that. I mean, wish we had more wins in the tournament than just one.
Yeah, I think
Did we win twice? Women won twice. Three times, right?
Dominion and ultimately lost to Coastal Carolina. But kudos to the ladies. Kudos to Gene Hill. Yeah. Way to have, I guess, the best season they've had in years now. So that's awesome.
Sign him a contract extension. Let's go.
Yeah. So what's going to go on with Hayes? It's a do or die now. I said in our group chat that if we heard nothing after Monday, that he's probably still here. However, it's either in April or in May that the buyout drops from whatever it is, $750 to $500 or $500 to $250, whatever it is. It drops by $250,000 in either April or May. I should know that. So there's still a chance that Cobb does something, because I mean, it would be the Cobb way of doing it because he's cheap as hell, right?
That's what I'm saying. We're fiscally responsible, so we will wait to hurt us.
But how much do you think that waiting that month or 2 months or whatever it is really changes the quality of hire we could get?
Yes, probably the best ones will be gone soon after. Soon. I mean, the people have already gotten let go. There's people looking for jobs. The best ones are going to go first, typically.
I mean, you could already be looking. You could already even be talking to people,
right?
And just be like, "Hey, man, it's going to be you. Don't take a job in April.
Just chill out.
Chill out. Sign a contract.
Yeah. Just wait till April. We can't do anything right now, but it's yours.
We promise we'll take you.
If we did that kind of backroom dealing with a coach that we think is going to be awesome, whatever, I don't trust that they don't get a better offer between now and then. And so we finally do, unless there's actually a contract signed. I could see us finally announcing on that day that the buyout drops by $250. That we announce Hayes and we go to announce whoever the next person's supposed to be. And the guy's like, yeah, Louisville offered me an assistant position that pays twice as much as what you're offering. So, gonna go do that. Or it could be, even hell, it could be within conference. You could see a head coaching job open up in conference and they go somewhere else. So,
I mean, there's got to be something in the contracts, but is there any chance you could hire another head coach and say co-head coaches and then just let go of one of them?
I mean, is there anything against that?
I don't know. I think it'd just be funny.
I mean, it would be in the contract whether you could or not, I think.
So why don't they do that? Why don't they just like hire a replacement head coach and like say, all right, so we're gonna fire Coach Hayes, and okay, let's take Hayes out. I don't want to talk about
You
firing.
can't say that part. No,
I'm just saying, just talk about in general in college sports. Could you say, all right, so we're not gonna fire this guy until this arbitrary date shows up, but we've already hired his replacement.
I mean, you might do something like that and just say like, yeah, but and if you in the meantime you find someplace else that wants to, do your buyout, then that's cool too.
But I mean, you couldn't do it where like, say there's another year on the contract. I'm just going to wait until there's no buyout, and we're going to hire this other guy, and you're just going to. He has to still be the head coach during actual games and everything. You couldn't be like, oh, we're going to bench you, because that's the same thing as firing him effectively, right? Yeah, but you're paying him to be the head coach, and if he's not head coaching games, then he's not. You're not fulfilling that end of the. I don't know. I never thought about that way. So
I never thought about it until this podcast at this moment. But
man, we are creating new aspects and angles at looking at college sports that nobody else is doing, probably because they all know that we're wrong.
Probably. I'd be curious to see if anyone knows like basketball contracts. I'm sure one of our fans will chime in at some point with a tweet or a group chat saying, "Hey, head coaches are protected. They're the only one. If they have to be gone before you hire the next one." So,
all right. So let's do a roundtable real quick. Do you think Hayes should stick around for another year? Or say, two questions. Do you think he should stick around? Do you think he should stick around? I'm not saying will he. I'm not predicting what Cobb is going to do. Do you think he's going to stick around for another year? And do you think, if so, do you think that Cobb actually signs an extension in this offseason?
Ryan, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know the answer to it. I expect he will be here. And probably will get an extension, which sucks. But I think it's weird we haven't heard anything at all. Like I do think that's weird, and that sort of makes me think that maybe we are gonna get rid of, like, cut the contract. But I just, like, to me that's more of an indicator that it's not working, right?
Right. Well, we've never had Cobb come out and just announce that he was extending it. Well, I guess Coach Elliott was the only football coach that got an extension. Hunter got an extension under Cobb, right?
I don't know. We would have.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I'm in the back of my head I'm thinking is that there would be an extension already in place. We would have already, like, not talks of it, right? Like already right now, because there's only a year left, right?
I think so.
That's it. 1 year.
Yeah, so we're already like in a weird time where like you're usually by now you've either heard he's either going to go or he's going to be extended, right?
You typically extend a coach on their last year for recruiting purposes, but hell, at this point, do kids even care if a coach is going to be there more than 1 year if they're only going to be here for 1 year themselves?
Who knows?
I mean,
what do you?
I think. I mean, I do feel like it's time to move on from Hayes. I don't know what he's going to do differently next year. That's going to be. Did we get worse this year than last year? I think we did. I think we had less wins this year than last year.
We won a tournament game.
We did win a tournament game, but so what? I don't know.
A tournament that everyone went to, that we were literally like, we would have been the last seed. And
yeah, I think only up until that point, only Old Dominion had upset a team. Like, it was always the higher seed had won, like, in every leg of that gauntlet.
Yeah. Plus it's TDS. You just got to win. Those are automatic. You got to win them.
Got to win them. Got to win them all. Got to win them all.
Because in the past, wasn't the top 2 seeds get like whatever double bye, triple bye, and we would have been playing the number 2 seed.
Right,
no, I think 3 seed. We'd have been playing the 3 seed, right? Like,
right. I think normally like the 1 and 2 teams end up playing 7 and 8 or something like that. Yeah,
we would have been dispatched in the first round instead of winning a game. So like the tournament kind of blurred the lines a little bit. Yeah, we won against an inferior opponent, TDS. Great.
Right.
you're supposed to beat them, right? I mean, them and anyone else that comes out of that half of the bracket, you're supposed to beat that team.
Honestly, I mean, we don't have any programs any longer that are kind of known for their basketball, perform when we had the basketball schools, both Little Rock.
Ooh.
That's
Who likes
what they
a
call
Little Rack? I like a big rack.
that's what they call the co-eds out there is Little Racks. Little Rock and Arlington, I mean, they were basketball schools, so they were always pretty good, and you kind of always saw them at the top of the rankings, I believe, and then Lafayette was always under Bob Marlin, who still sucks, was always up there, and then it was us, and it was Georgia State that were like the just the perennial top of everything. But now it's almost like every year another team kind of just all of a sudden becomes good at basketball, and this year it was Arkansas State, which was really good for most of the season. They had a couple of missteps that they did make it to the championship game, and Troy somehow finds a way to make it there and win the whole damn thing. But we don't really have like basketball schools anymore. And the reason why I bring that up is because when you said that Trash Down South is a you should win game, honestly, based off what our history's been under Hunter and Lanier, every conference game is a should win game. We were the best basketball team, and we don't really have any other peer university that has that kind of history, at least in the past 10 years we've been here, right? Lafayette was the only other one that's still around, and they got rid of their coach, and I mean, I guess they did all right, but they lost really early on. I don't remember. I don't know. So what were you? So Ryan, you said that you think that it's weird we've heard nothing. However, you believe that he sticks around and is extended.
I think he's going to get extended. Yep.
Did you give an actual answer on those, Tim? I don't recall.
I think he gets extended. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think we're at the point at which we Georgia State are ready to move on. The fans are. I think the administration, I think they might just say, hey, I mean, I wouldn't extend him multi-year. I would do 1 year and be like, all right, next year's it. This is it. Like, if you do multi-year based on how you've been performing, why? Like,
if you did a multi-year have a low buyout, like maintain whatever the buyout is right now, like the 250 or 500, whatever it is. Now I'll be like, all right, cool. We'll extend you for 3 years, but your buyout's not moving anywhere.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, on the premise that we're going to keep him anyway, I'd be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah. What's the difference then?
I agree. I think that he sticks around for at least another year, and or to finish out his contract. But I would be more shocked to hear about him being let go than about him getting an extension. So I guess we're all in agreement. We expect him to be back next year, and we expect him to have some form of a contract.
I think so.
This makes for bad talk, podcast, radio, whatever you call it. We're supposed to disagree with each other and go like fisticuffs about how wrong the other person is, right?
I hate you, David.
Well,
I know. I have a hateable face.
I mean, the funny thing is we're all saying he's going to stay, so he's clearly going to leave. Like, he's clearly going to get let go now because we said this.
Our history of predicting what goes on at Georgia State is really poor. So, yeah, I guess everyone can count on Hayes being gone before this. That would actually be the thing. He'll get announced that he's let go before I get this released tomorrow.
That'll be funny.
So I know we're talking about the head coach, but you guys watch, I mean, obviously most of us probably caught TDS, whatever. We beat them.
I didn't catch that. Where have you been hanging out?
I got my TDS vaccination.
That was a joke.
But did y'all watch the Marshall game?
Oh, yeah, I watched the Marshall game, and that's a game we should have won. Like, we were winning. We
look good.
We looked great in that game against an inferior opponent up until dumbass Peters does that technical, and at that point I was like, okay, well, we're not gonna come back, and we still led the game up until the very, very end.
Yeah, I mean, I think Peters to me is you can't leave him on the team. He can't control himself. It's clear. Like if you watched I rewatched some of the first half. Just like parts of the game where we're on offense. I mean, he's already like elbowing the guy in the neck and the head. That's
I
not
like
being
it.
called. It's not being called, but like he's escalating it, right? And then if you watch the play in which he sucker elbows the guy in the face, the baseline cam, it kind of looks like it's in the neck, upper chest area. I'm like, whatever. That should be a flagrant one. I wouldn't call it a flagrant two because it's it's a tournament game. You're gonna end someone's season by doing a flagrant two. But then I rewatched from the sideline camera, and man, he wallops the guy right in the face, and I'm like,
is it
that's a
worse?
flagrant two.
Is it worse than? Is it worse than the track and field girl that like hit the other opponent in her head with a baton?
Yeah.
Have you seen that, Ryan?
No.
I know. It's just track and field race, and the girl it's a relay race. She just bashes the other girl in the head. I think it was either college or high school. It was young stuff, but it just hits her in the head. The girl just like goes off the sideline and collapses to the ground. She was got a concussion. I mean, she was doctors called her, said she had a concussion afterwards. And the girl's like, "Oh, I didn't know what I was doing with my hands, and I accidentally." I'm like,
what do I do with my hands? Oh,
most likely one of those video
murderer.
I bashed the girl ahead of me. Oh yeah. So you're saying that Clash was even worse than that?
It looked worse when you watch it from the sideline. Yes, way worse than the baseline. The baseline didn't look that bad. I was like, why is that a flagrant two? I mean, granted, not a basketball play. You're just running down the court to like get set up on offense and defense. There's no reason to do that. But man, he walloped him. But that is a huge turning point for them because we don't have a deep bench as it is. And Peters was a key integral part of rotations.
Right.
And so luckily it happened at half, basically.
Right.
Coach had halftime to figure out what the F am I going to do to start having a different rotation. But at that point, it's kind of like he has his rotation set. He knows when he needs to sub Peters in. He has like less fouls to give around as far as like spreading them out and not letting people get in foul trouble, which makes people timid players. All the rotations are screwed up. People are in there longer than they should be. No one's getting rest. And then on top of all that, Peters actually does rebound the ball at a decent rate. You've lost that the rest of the game. So guess what? They out rebounded us like gangbusters in the second half. I mean, they just got all the rebounds, and that's why they won. Really,
it's not like we have a deep rotation, anyways. We play like 7 guys pretty much an entire game under Hayes at least this season. Yeah.
You need him.
I knew it as soon as that happened. I knew that the game was going to go south for us. We hung in there a lot longer than I thought we were going to. But it's a bummer, man. When you're ahead like that for so long as we were, it's such a defeating type of a loss and everything. But also as far as aggressive a play as Clash Peters has, like do you expect a guy named Clash to play softball? I mean, come on, dude. The dude's name is Clash. His last name is a euphemism for dick. Come on. The dude's name to be a jerk. I think we should celebrate it. We should embrace it.
Banging dick,
like, yeah, it can be the dick bangers.
I love his energy. Don't get me wrong. He's great.
Like, I think that we should definitely try to go find, maybe a more PG version of Clash in the off season, but to have somebody to be there, but like that should be our style of play. Like we just know that Clash is going to foul out every game. So we have this other guy that's on the bench that's going to come in there and try to replicate what he does on a little bit more of a softer touch or whatever. I think we should lean in to Clash Peters and make everybody scared to play Georgia State because you have no idea what that psychopath is going to do.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that he plays physical. I just wish he could control it a little bit better. I don't care if he gets multiple fouls per game. Fine. Be the guy that's the physical presence down the blocks. Be the guy that's going to get the rebounds and make it difficult for the other team to get rebounds. Just don't do stupid shit that gets you ejected. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Other than that, he brings a great energy to the team.
Well, it's kind of funny you say don't do stupid shit because a lot of people talked about Clash was kind of like that that second coming of TJ Shipes.
Yeah,
but everyone said that TJ Shipes was stupid.
I did not know that. But now I do.
I did not say that. I like TJ Shipes.
He's
you can like him and still call him stupid.
I never thought he was stupid, but but there were definitely people that said that about him. He's my second favorite J from the team.
I got just real quick. The other thing that killed us was free throws again. Of course, like if we just shot a couple more free throws better, we'd have been fine. Especially at the very, very end, we went scoreless for I think 4 minutes, from 5 minutes to 1 minute. You can't.
I feel like that was the same thing. I mean, that was in the game against Trash.
Ago. Well, yeah.
Well, no, just the game against Trash the day before was like they went on like this, just like 7-minute break of no scoring. And it seemed like in the tournament games, there was a lot of teams that just went on these just extended periods of not scoring field goals at all. Maybe get a free throw in there, but field goals were not being scored. And you can't. You can't take several drives down to your side of the bench and not score. You've got to get something out of these things. So.
Right. And you got to if you're going to have a scoreless stretch, you got to do it earlier. You can't do it late. There's no way to come back at that point. So it was tough. And then missing that 1-on-1 free throw. I can't remember. Was it Ferguson that went to the line? Whoever was shooting got fouled like at a minute. I'm like, you have to make these or we're not going to win. We missed the first one. Didn't get the rebound. So.
Yeah,
it was a great game. We looked fantastic leading at the half, leading through most of the game, and then just Clash Peters, rotation, offensive rebounding, free throw shooting, 5 minutes of coldness. That's it.
Yeah.
You only lost by 3. We had a chance to still win or tie, and just couldn't do it.
I just wonder how good you could ever look if you eventually lose to a Sunbelt team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Question.
I don't know if we, maybe relative on the court we looked good, but I can't imagine that we actually looked good.
Well, the way I took it from what way Tim was saying it was we looked good for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Relative
for this year.
Yeah, relative. Yeah.
For what we've seen out of this team this year and the past 3 years under Hayes, it looked like we kind of, and I still had expectations of us losing in the next. Should we had beaten Marshall, I felt like who was it? I can't remember who the Arkansas State. I think Arkansas State would have been who we played next, who eventually made it to the championship game. I was pretty sure that we were going to lose that game. Arkansas State had been playing gangbusters all season long. It just would have been nice to kind of, having been as bad as we were, to actually make some noise and get a little attention, especially because I think Old Dominion had just won the day before and kind of became, they were like the somewhat of a Cinderella team. And I even saw some people commenting about, I'm going to just start pulling for Old Dominion because they're surprising people. And then, but not Old Dominion. Was it Old Dominion?
Who?
Did we beat Old Dominion in the first game?
No,
I forget. All right, now I'm just
we beat TDS. Old Dominion. They started out the 10 seed. They won 1, 2, 3 games in a row, and they got to
the women that beat ODU. It was the women. ODU, yeah.
The other interesting thing to talk about the bracket was people are starting to complain already that the 1 and 2 seeds sat dormant for too long, and that's why they didn't make it to the championship game.
I don't like it. I don't think it does any. The idea is to give those top 2 seeds an easy path to the championship game, and it's just not been the case. I'm a proponent of dropping the Pensacola thing altogether and just taking the top 4 teams. You could argue the top 6 teams and play it at the side of the regular season champions stadium.
Go backwards in time.
Yeah, I until the Sun Belt has a legit basketball dominance or strong basketball teams in the conference, why are we doing this Pensacola stuff? Just have it at regular. It makes it, talk about something about being regular season champ, getting to host these teams, but you don't bring all 14. All 14 is stupid. There's no reason.
That's too bad. We don't need them all. We don't need them all.
Even people saying 10. I'm like, no. Hey, most of the time, it's only the top 5 or 6 teams are even over 500 in conference play. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you bringing teams into the postseason that haven't even won half their games?
Like
that's us. It's like
ULM.
not like, right. Yeah.
like winning almost nothing. The other thing that's being said is the top 4, like the 3 and 4 seeds have an advantage over the 1 and 2 seeds because they get to play who comes out of the trash brackets all the way up there. So they have a game to like shake off the rust, get used to playing again, and then they get to come into that next game with the 1 and 2 seeds being flat-footed and just being like lethargic.
Well, that's your argument for having 8 teams because you get 1 gets to play 8, 2 gets to play 7, and then so everyone kind of gets in there at the same time. I think it should be top 4 teams. I know that they'll never do that, but I think 8 is by far the maximum number of teams you play. And because we're talking about, most of the time it's only the top 5 or 6 teams that are above 500, that means you really are giving 1 and 2 an easy game to play against in that first round. And so now everyone's loosened up, they're gelling, Russ is knocked off, whatever you want to talk about, and they can play their way, and you have a better shot of really getting the best team into the tournament and try to get some of those credits by getting a win for the conference. That's what it's all. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting a win in the tournament. The whole thing is structured to get a win in the NCAA tournament to get those credits that last, like they pay out over 3 years or something like that.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years.
So. Yeah, I would say go back to the 8-team bracket where the 1 and 2 seeds get the buys all the way to the semifinals. I think that's fine. I don't think we need to do anything different. It shortens the tournament. It shortens the amount of time the 1 and 2 seeds sit dormant. I mean, if I go back to the year we entered the Sun Belt, we lost to Lala. I mean, I'm looking at the bracket now. We killed Arkansas State 72-45 in that semifinal game. I mean, so you can't claim, we were tired or lethargic. We just murdered a team. I mean,
what do you think about having the championship game played on a Monday?
Monday was weird, and the time was weird.
Yeah, what was it? It was like 7 o'clock on a Monday.
It was 7 o'clock. Maybe it was 7 o'clock. Yeah. I guess it's fine. ESPN. I don't know. Monday's kind of boring. Honestly,
it would make. I mean, and if you are trying to do this to actually get people down to this neutral site place, then no one is. If you're already taking off, your Thursday and Friday to get down there, no one wants to take off the Monday and then the Tuesday to come back home. Play the game on Sunday so people can, get up Monday morning and come home. I think a Sunday is the latest it should be. I mean, ideally, honestly, on a Saturday for fans, which is something you can do when you only have, when you have 6 or 8 teams and you have a 3-day tournament versus doing 14 stupid teams.
So we have our petitions to Sunbelt Commish. Cut out the crap with all the teams, and the championship game needs to be on Sunday afternoon.
How common is that like flying V tournament shape? That I don't know. I opened that up and I thought that was weird looking, and I was like, oh wait, I guess I get like it's just you get a bye for every.
I think
for every position you were better than everybody else.
There's another mid-major conference that does that, but they only have 10 teams, so it doesn't look as bad.
Yeah,
when you have 14 teams, it's absolutely absurd. And like everybody, every single comment I've seen from non-Sunbelt fans on social media are just like, "What is this?" Well, but some of them are kind of like it's the staring at a train wreck type thing. It's like I can't stop looking at this thing. What the hell is it?
Yeah,
it's the Sunbelt, baby. Adopt it.
So I was just making sure. I don't always have a lot of experience, and so I'm just like, maybe that's really normal, but it looked weird to me. So
it's very uncommon.
It's the flying V from Mighty Ducks,
That's what I said, flying V. I thought, yeah.
I don't know what the hell we're gonna do next. I don't know how we're gonna top this. Maybe have the women and the men in the same.
No, bracket. We need to expand the conference. This means we've got to expand the Sun Belt to 20 teams so we can have the longest bracket. The longest V.
The biggest, longest, loosest V ever.
I think we're adding too many adjectives there now. All right.
All right, that's enough about hoops ball, right? We're done with it.
There's only one other thing to talk about, and the transfer portal.
Troy.
What do you guys think? Troy, Arkansas State. Troy won. I guess it seems pretty convincingly. Was it overtime? Was that an overtime game?
No.
For some reason I thought it was overtime, but I saw the score 94-81, won pretty convincingly. Good for them.
Top 4 seeds all tied. I mean, one of the top 4 seeds won the whole thing.
Do we hate that Troy? Do we hate that Troy is representing the conference we're in?
Who?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I just want to know who they're going to lose to in the first round.
Do they even make it to the first round? Or are they going to be the play-in game like App State was a couple years ago?
I think they'll get out of the play-in games, but they're going to be.
Been terrible this year. Just terrible.
I know.
Top to bottom, just rancid.
Without even looking, it's a 15-16 seed. But now I'm curious what bracketology says.
And I think one of the reasons why they moved the tournament back a week was to try to get out of that 15-16 seed spot, because without knowing who, because we were playing on Selection Sunday, we had like a noon or 1 o'clock tip or something like that, because the selection thing came out at 6 or 7 o'clock or whatever it was, and they kind of always just kind of penciled in where the Sun Belt champion was going to be, and they wanted to kind of give a better, like, oh, now we know who it is, we can move them accordingly. Yeah, and then App State ends up in the play-in game. Losers.
Well, 14 seed right now, according to ESPN, against Texas A&M. Sure.
The Asta people. All right, cool.
Well, we have that upset now. I mean, that the ice is broken, I guess, right?
I guess so. The only other thing I was going to say was we found out that Nutter has entered the portal.
He will no longer nut at Georgia State. Oh, so sad.
Oh, all right.
We're nutless.
Is he getting some better? Is he getting some better nut money at some other school?
He's getting some nutter butter.
Some
unlimited
better
supply of nuts.
Brought to you by Planters.
That sucks. I mean, he was a good player this year.
Yeah, but didn't he like miss a lot of games?
He did have a weird stretch where he was kind of out for a bit. Yes.
Right.
So. I do want to throw it out there too, like a good player this year. I mean, I don't know what that means.
Right. Well, Edwards really came alive this year. Like he was quietly doing well until he loudly was playing well. So he was a fun guy to watch. That's a name that I'm going to remember for a while. Cesar Edwards. He was a fun guy to watch. It took him a while to really get warmed up in this Sun Belt play, but once he did, that was an electric kind of guy to watch. I enjoyed watching him. Again, on this team.
Right.
Just this team.
All right. Basketball. Maybe also big, huge congrats to the ladies and Gene Hill. That was awesome. We have a football meet and greet coming up on April. Was it 4th? April 4th.
Oh, what's that mean?
At Hurt Park, football team meet and greet, live DJ, food trucks, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come out and enjoy a night of music, food, and socializing with the football team. Welcome to all students and more. Are we and more?
I don't know. That's actually what I was going to say. Is they've done this event before, and it's been a student event.
Oh, no, they have not, Ryan, because I am looking at the image that Coach A.D. McGee posted, and it clearly says, actually, it's not very clear. It's a very bad font. The first ever football team meet and greet.
And it says
we've never met any football players.
And it says we want all our Panther fans, students, and supporters. So
it would be funny if it said we want all our Panther fan to be there.
Well, unfortunately, it sort of is like separating out fans and students. Like students aren't fans,
we have supporters, though.
Maybe they're not.
Who are these supporters?
It says students and more. So, and you're right, Ryan. I remember, I think it was under Miles. They did something like this, but it was very much geared towards students.
Yeah, I think a lot of us talked about it on Panther Talk, and we were like, "Hey, we're not going because it does really seem like it's student centered. Like they're just trying to get people to come over from the dorms, and that was cool. It was great that they were doing that. But I do remember there being a little bit of a hubbub and a debate over that verbiage.
And I think we did know several fans from Panther Talk that went out there, and they were kind of like, yeah, this was a younger crowd, kind of was geared towards that. But it's just so weird. Students and more. Like, it doesn't say students, fans, alum.
I
Students
imagine
are
it
paying
means
more.
it's for the students, but they're not gonna turn fans away. If you wanna
Right.
show up 'cause you just love the shit out of the football team, like, do it. But it's geared
Yes.
towards students.
I also wanna say that the thing that happened before was when school had just gotten back in session. It was, like, done
It was.
before the first game. Like, that first week, that Tuesday or Wednesday before the first game or something like that, where obviously this is happening. This is even before the spring game. The spring game is a week later, the following Friday.
Mm.
So
That's cool. Party with the team one week and then, go watch practice the next week.
I'll go
That's
to it.
nice. That's neat.
I mean,
Oh, actually, I said I'll go to it. It's the day before my anniversary. I'll
you'll
go if I'm
definitely
permitted.
go.
I'll go if I'm permitted to go. But,
I
hop on the
mean,
train,
you
hop over at the Hurt Park.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna ever hang out in Hurt Park otherwise.
don't we own Hurt Park now? The city turned it over to us so we can
I don't think we own Hurt Park. I think that,
we manage it,
Georgia State PD has been allowed to, like,
police it.
police it. Yeah, something like that. But I don't think we own it. I
I
could be
mean,
wrong.
reading the tweet from McGee, he does start off with Panther fans. That's us, right?
I'm
Yeah.
that. Yeah. That's
I don't
how
know.
I
I
self-identify.
still want to know who the supporters are.
We're probably that too, actually, just
Fans,
'cause, like, 'cause
students,
supporter would mean, like, we donate, right?
It says Isaiah Guy on the image, Isaiah Guy and GSU football team presents.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's also
That's
Isaiah with a Z. I didn't know you spelled Isaiah with a Z. I come from a deeply religious upbringing where Isaiah was with an S.
He's probably somebody
So
that the kids know,
Yeah.
I'm sure I am absolutely positive that most of the people that they associate with college athletics in general are people that I'm too old for to know who
Yeah.
they are. So
Yeah, Coach A.D. McGee seems like he's, made, connections with people in town and has been flexing those a little bit. Because like, we had, the V103 folks, at
mhm.
last year's spring game, I think, and
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. So and hosted another event. It was that truck rally or the car show thing.
The car show, which took forever,
Car
like,
show. Yeah.
it kept on getting rained out or other things were going on, and we couldn't get it going on. It finally happened. I think it went pretty well. I don't know.
I didn't really follow because I'm like, I don't care about that stuff. It's not for me. It's okay. I like that they're doing that stuff. That's really cool, but it's just not for me, and that not everything's gonna be.
Yeah, not
So,
everything has to be. You
yeah,
gotta you
not
gotta branch
everything's
out.
gonna
You
be.
gotta branch out. Yeah.
Yep.
I am so not a car guy that whenever I fantasize about winning the lottery, I'm like, I'm gonna buy the nicest Honda Odyssey minivan they have. Like, I'm not looking at like a Mercedes or a Lamborghini. I just want a nice minivan to haul my kids around in with my
I
$450
I
million.
don't want a car that I'm gonna be upset that if it gets a scuff on it, you know? I don't want to care about a car that much. So, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just like, "Man,
I
I."
had a coworker of mine named Tony Rivera, huge car guy, and he said he could never own a Lamborghini because he'd have to own two. Maybe he's a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, one of the two
One
exotic
to
cars.
drive, one to look at.
Well, one, it was going to be the one that he would never leave his garage. He'd wash it with baby diapers and crap like that. The other, he would take a sander and sand all the paint off of it and just drive it like a crappy ass car all over the place, bumping into shopping carts and malls and grocery store parking lots and crap like that.
Like
That's like
he pre-beat it up so he could go drive it around and not care.
Exactly.
That's like you see nicer cars, like, double parked in the back of a lot, and you're like, "Man, what why do you even have a car that you're that worried about?" Like,
If
this
you
sucks,
double
man.
park if you double
Status.
park your car, I don't care how nice it is, but if you double park your car in the back of the lot, I could not give 2 more shits about it. That's fine. It's when you double park your car right in the front.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
That's
That's
total
when you're the
dick.
biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to say they were assholes for double parking in the back. I'm like, if you're that worried about your car, like, I don't that's the stress I just don't need in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I like my Kia minivan with all of its
Mhm.
dents
What?
and dings and scrapes and scratches, and, hey, living in town on a small ass
That's
road,
right. And when new ones magically show up that you don't even know how it happened, like I mean, I got keyed at some point. I'm just like, you know what? I guess that sucks. I guess I have a line. I guess I have a racing stripe on my car.
Exactly. It's aerodynamic
for free.
Yeah, it's faster. It's 5 horsepower or more, actually. Yeah,
5.
Yeah, 5 horsepower. If they got the other side, I would have got the full 10. But
yeah, now
they only got one side.
On a long enough straightaway, you're going to end up drifting into another lane because the
drag from
I got to correct.
You know, right?
That's fine.
All right, what else we got?
Who got in the portal? Nutters
in the portal. That's the only one I'm aware of.
All right, like Cesar Edwards, Cesar. He's a senior, but who knows what senior means anymore? Does it mean are we out of the COVID years yet? No, we're not.
I think Nutter was even celebrated as a senior, but on senior day, but then got another year. I mean, like the all of a sudden, NCAA, who is not granting crap to anybody, is handing out additional years, like they're fentanyl and cocaine or whatever it is. They put fentanyl and cocaine. I don't know how drugs work.
I mean, McMullen, Lane, Evans, Nutter, and Edwards, they're all quote unquote seniors. So I guess they're all gone.
I just wanted to show you guys. I am so unprepared tonight. I didn't even get a cooler. I just like literally brought down like the entire 12-pack of beer, and I'm using that as my cooler.
Just in case.
Well, no, I'm just I like to use beer as my cooler for other beer.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So, just gotta reach into the middle.
Well, yeah, that middle row, that's the money row.
It's fine.
That's the, like that money muscle and the pork butts. Give that money row in your 12-pack. So, all right, what else we got? Baseballing. Did they end up losing to Tech today? They were.
I know they're down 4-2 last time I checked. I'm gonna assume they lost.
Apparently, we're not getting the return trip. We played at Tech this year, but we're not getting the return trip back to Panthersville. Georgia already came and played.
Just one game with them. I think they're protesting until we have a new ballpark.
I was going to ask
final.
I was going to ask that question. Do we think that Tech State should be the very first game in the Hank?
Yes.
Right?
It might be a loss, but yes.
I mean, well, they opened up the box, so that'd be weird.
Well, yeah. That's what we do. We open new arenas. We play Tech.
I mean, I guess it wasn't like a fit. I mean, there were games, a game or two.
There was at least an exhibition game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think.
So
I think Tech may have been the first D1, the first D1 game. And I would say the same thing about playing in the new baseball park. Is play.
I take whoever Kennesaw.
I think Kennesaw as a first game, and that's a team that scares me.
Do you want to play UT Martin, Belmont?
I don't want to play East. I'll tell you who I don't want to play: East Tennessee State.
No,
or Tennessee State. Tennessee State. That's who beat us in the park the first game.
Yes,
before it was the park.
I don't think you have to open with anyone flashy, honestly, but it would be nice to play someone with notoriety.
Well, what would be cool? What would be cool? I don't know how much they do this anymore, but I remember like Georgia Tech would play the Braves down in like the spring training facility as a kind of like just an exhibition game, just as part of the Braves spring training. Could we get the Braves to play an exhibition game against Georgia State at the Hank?
Imagine ticket prices.
Even better better idea. Oh, what? This is the best idea ever. Cobb, whoever Cobb is paying.
Charlie Cobb, listen right now.
I know that he pays somebody to listen to every one of our episodes. So whoever this is this time, Dean, if it's you, message him over. All right, Hall of Fame Braves versus Georgia State baseball. Get Chipper and Terry Pendleton and Mark Lemke and Smoltzy. Get the old Hall of Fame. Those guys that actually played at Turner Field or played at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Get a Hall of Fame team to play an exhibition game as a ceremonial opening day game of the Hank.
And only season ticket holders can get in.
And me.
Well, no, you just have to buy a season ticket.
Yeah.
I could see like people literally buying season tickets just to go to the one game and then never coming.
How cool would that be? I mean, and the whole thing is honoring Hank Aaron. The whole thing is done to open up the new park and honor Hank Aaron, and you have these Hall of Famers playing in there. I think that'd be
better honor Hank Aaron. Jeez, we can't
that'd be such a great way to open up that park. Somebody remind me of this brilliant idea I had tomorrow so I can talk about it more.
I heard there's like a voice assistant on your phone. It'll help.
I gotta do it. So
I'm excited. So who do you want to open with, like other than your Braves idea?
Well,
who
now
would you pick as
my Braves idea is
who would you pick as a team that's currently playing in the NCAAs?
Oh, Tech. I think Tech makes the most sense.
It's easy. I mean, they're right down the street.
You could do Georgia just because of the more of the state fan base for Georgia to have there. But I was just thinking Tech to be the Atlanta connection. You're not wrong with Kennesaw. Kennesaw would be fine. Obviously not trash. I don't think that, Mercer or anybody like that draws any interest.
Why don't we just open with Tech, then go to Kennesaw, and then have Georgia come in? Just all three. Just one after the other.
Well, baseball.
It would be
round
the
robin.
tournament we've been asking for a long time, the in-state tournament.
We could let the other teams play in our stadium too, our park.
I would have to imagine that if we got, the ballpark we're talking about happening there will be other events that kind of charity tournaments and things like that would happen there. Something they could do that's far cheaper than trying to do it at whatever the hell they call the Braves place now, Truist. Right. Yeah. Stupid name, Truist. What the hell kind of name is that?
Baseball looked pretty good though tonight. I mean, it was 2-0. We're losing, then we clawed back down to 2-2, and then I think it was like the 7th inning. Maybe they finally took the lead again. I mean, they didn't look. The team does not look like they give up. I mean, I think it was our 4th loss. 5th loss?
I think something like that. Yeah. They've been playing pretty well. Let's see. We since we talked last week, they lost to Georgia in a high scoring game. Oh, look, they're doing the thumbs up again. 16-11, but then we won the series against Western Carolina 2-1, and then Tech tonight. So
we had this great state of South Carolina this Wednesday.
Is that where Western Carolina is in South Carolina? Oh wait, no, they're coming up.
We're going to Gamecocks tomorrow.
Oh, we're going to the Cox?
We're going to Cox tomorrow. We open our Sunbelt play starting this Friday at 6. In the rain.
We got this Friday at 6.
South Alabama,
the Jaguars, Jaguars.
Is that how they say it in Alabama?
Jaggers.
Hey, David, you can't say that, dude. This is
Jaguar. Jaguars. I don't know. They should totally do that. They should totally play up, like do a Jaguar style, like luxury commercial about their entire athletic program here in the Mobile Jaguars.
They're not very good, so it's a good home opener with the Sunbelt team. We can steal 3 from them. That'd be nice.
How is South Alabama good at some? I feel like South Alabama is like one of those kind of schools that if you're going to be good at anything, you probably should be good at everything because it's just you're recruiting based off of location and the school. You're not like, oh man, I grew up wanting to be a basketball fan at South Alabama. Or I grew up wanting to be no one grew up to be a football fan at South Alabama because they didn't have football back then.
Is Mobile a great location?
I don't think so.
I've heard people say nice things about it, but it's no one's favorite,
There are better places in Alabama. How about that?
What that is the ultimate insult to say about any place in Alabama. There are better places in Alabama than right here.
Birmingham easily. Come on,
Birmingham's
not even a question.
Birmingham's fun. I had fun in Tuscaloosa.
Huntsville
has Rockets.
They
had Rockets.
That's true.
Such an annoying place to get to, but they do. It's a nice little downtown they got.
Do you think Huntsville is the only place in the country that actually no one eats Heinz ketchup? Because it's Huntsville.
Do you think no one eats Heinz ketchup there?
I don't know. Just because it's Huntsville.
Right.
So, but I don't know.
It's the Ville of Hunts. Got it.
What else we got?
Beach volleyball. They hosted their tournament last week. They had duels, but horrible weather. They had the worst weather to have for beach volleyball. It was not beach weather. It was
play in the mud,
45 degrees and raining. That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to get those. Maybe we should host our tournaments towards the end of the volleyball season. But we swept them. Home field advantage. We beat, who was it? We beat Southern Miss, College of Charleston, and Tennessee Tech.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And somehow dropped 2 spots in the rankings from 18th to 20th.
Ouch. So, we can't drop out of the top 20.
No, we cannot. So we're at Florida Atlantic's Beach Invitational this week against UAB, Stetson, who's ranked number 15, Florida Gulf Coast, who is receiving votes, and Florida Atlantic, who's number 13. So if we can manage some wins out of this little series, I think that we can. The ladies can, the Sandies can claw their way back up into the top 15.
What'd you say we were ranked?
20, and they only do it. They only do a top 20. So we're
right on the cusp.
We're the first one, or the last one in. One in.
Well, we've shown the ability to beat people that are ranked higher than us, but typically speaking, those games go with the rankings.
I think what happened as I looked at
those matches.
We didn't really talk about beach volleyball last week, and I went back and looked at what we had done the prior week, and we played Florida State twice, and we lost to Florida State twice. 0-5 and 1-4. They were ranked 8th, so they should beat us. But I think just getting blown out by Florida State really hurt the rankings there. So, and then none of the Southern Miss and Charleston, Tennessee Tech, none of them were ranked. So even though we swept the whole thing, it just wasn't quality win type situation. So
you're supposed to win. We were gonna dock you for how well you lost at FSU.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. So yeah, it's what it is there. The only thing that I other had, where are we at? How much time we got? We got to be around the 40 mark, right?
Yeah, we've been going for
53. There we go. All right, cool. That's all I got Georgia State related. Anything else I had was just college sports in general. We can talk about that in last call if we want to.
Let's do it.
Sound good to you guys?
Yeah, let's go. Thanks everyone for listening. I'm just going to take it away. We're going to take a quick break here, restock the bevs, head over to last call. If you liked what you heard or you didn't, don't care. Join our Patreon anyway. It's patreon.com/State of Atlanta. Live stream access, discounts to all our awesome merch. David is cooking up something special for the first game. No pressure, David. Group chat action, which is always lively, and all the breaking news you can handle there. Adult beverages at tailgates and more. Hopefully we'll get to a baseball game this year. I think we should.
We should.
$5 a month. You become a fan of the show. We'd love to have you aboard. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.